How's it going, everybody? In this video, I'm gonna try to explain what I'm doing during the shifting with this truck. If you look at some of the other videos I put out, it's a little different than a car automatic, but I'm gonna try and explain some what I'm doing, what gear I am, how I'm modulating the clutch. It's all, like I said, a little different. But once we get going, I'll start explaining. It's not much different than other manuals, just how you finesse certain things. Like I said before, this it's more of an old school feel. Got the green light. So go ahead and put it in first. And coming off the clutch, pressing the gas. All right, now I'm fully off the clutch. And this is short gearing, so going into second there, you gotta kind of take your time with it. It is a big difference between first and second gear ratio going into third. And this clutch is slow to engage, so you gotta be patient with it. So it takes a little time when allowing the clutch to go fully engaged. When we come to stoplights, I don't like leaving it in gear just to prevent wear and tear on the throwout bearing. When you got the clutch engaged, it's putting uneven pressure on the throwout bearing, and I'm always kind of paying attention to the lights, so I go ahead and get in gear in green. So using that gas and letting off the clutch, I'm gonna go ahead and shift. And when I do this, okay, well, we got people slowing down. All right, easing back off the clutch, giving it gas, so I'm still second gear. Clutch in, third, ease out the clutch. So with this truck, compared to some other manuals out there, I like to clutch in first and come off gas. It prevents that nosedive. So if you just come off gas then clutch in, you get this nosedive feel. So I like to push in clutch first and then come off gas. You gotta kind of practice it, it ain't bad. So here I got clutch, but ease off the clutch. There, in third. So what I did there was had the clutch in, and it just kind of eased out to the RPM started coming up. Held it once the RPMs quit coming up, and then released the clutch. Go to fourth. Normally I come all the way off the clutch, except when I'm going from first to second, but normally I'll clutch in. Got these people slowing down here. Still got clutch in. All right, I'm gonna start easing out. All right, clutch is all the way out, and I press the gas again. I forgot what I was saying before that, but man, I got more. A lot of people on the turn. Alright, so clutch in, still in third. Kind of got my foot on the brake, easing out the clutch. Alright, fully out. Back on the gas. Shift to fourth. What I was saying, yeah, second up through six, I'll normally, most of the time, come mostly off the clutch before I start applying gas. Maybe a little bit of gas depending on the speed, and that's just something you get a feel for the more you drive it. But like I said, on this one I kind of clutch in first and then come off the gas, shift, and then kind of come out, wait for the engagement, and then put my foot on the gas as I'm releasing the clutch pedal. So depending on how this turn is up here, hopefully it's a green light and I can kind of drive through. I normally approach this and come into second gear, but it's not a really good, either third's too much gear and second's probably or not enough gear, let's just say that, and second is probably too much, and there's no in between, so we're still green. So all right, so neutral, clutch out, clutch back in, slowing down, second. All right, holding clutch. All right, release the clutch on the gas. When I say holding clutch, I release and then I started up, then I held the clutch. All right, third. And here, when it's flatter like this, I'll just go from third to fifth. Release the clutch, easy, and then once I felt the engagement, I got back on the gas. And pretty much, you got to get the feel for it for sure. And like I said, this is probably a little more difficult to finesse and get super smooth than maybe another car. I remember it being a lot easier to make it smooth. All right, green light. So I'm gonna go second, ease off the clutch. All right, release clutch, foot on gas. This car's wanting to get over. Okay, what are you doing? All right, so we're going, foot on gas. Third, release clutch, and press the gas. Alright, so come to neutral, release clutch, and just kind of slow down. I don't like, unless I got like a heavy load on me, I really don't use engine braking to slow me down, just because I don't want to wear the clutch out more than I have to. Alright, so got a little too much on the gas there. So you got to be real patient with that first to second shift. Especially when releasing the clutch, I kind of come halfway out and then apply the gas. And then as I'm releasing the clutch, I'm more slower than I would be in the other gears, just because you can cause this clump, this drive shaft clump, and it can be annoying. So you just gotta be really patient. Now, if you gotta go, you need to get somewhere quickly, do what you gotta do to shift quickly to, you know, get out make a quick turn or something like that. But for the most part, gotta be kind of patient. Now I can get impatient when shifting. My foundation for manual driving is on a dirt bike, and I try shifting as fast as possible all the time. There was no in between. So light turned green, put in first, apply some gas, come off the clutch. I held the clutch until I'm going, clutch in, second, ease it, and come off. And this is something, repetition, you just got to keep doing and doing over and over. This truck don't like to be rev match downshift unless you really own like a load. The throttle seems to change when you're slowing down and you're applying brakes. And if you go to blip the throttle, the truck doesn't want to do it, just like boom. I mean, you got to really hold that throttle to do it, and you'll overshoot. There's definitely a computer between your pedal and the engine, and that computer changes the throttle response at times. The best time and easiest time is if you're actually on load, but you need to go to a lower gear. That seems to most of the time work out fine. So normally when slowing down to downshift, or you're slowing down and you need to downshift, normally what I'll do is I'll go to the gear I think I should be in, and then I'll release the clutch. And once I see the RPMs, like I said, once I see them RPMs start climbing, I'll hold it there. And once the RPMs quit climbing, then release the clutch. So that's kind of how I do it. This road right here, this crossing, the road is very uneven as soon as we cross over, and that's a lot of times where I need to swap shift to second, and it'll cause it to teeter-totter, I guess you could say, or yawing back and forth. But you can really actually almost feel like you're grinding gears if you shift in that, because of that whole shifting back and forth. It's a weird feeling, and this is a very mechanical gearbox. I mean, it's directly linked below us. So I try and either hold RPMs a little higher, like right here, just to get over this crazy bumps. There, shift, ease out. Now we go. See, like this person's right on my rear end because this truck just ain't a fast truck, and I'm not gonna rev the dog snot out of it every time. Go on the 5th gear here. Only if the ground's level, I'll go to 5th or 4th to 6th. But if there's some kind of hill, I'll continue to, like what it went through 4th, if I shift them through here where you got this slight hill. But we got this hill coming up on the railroad tracks. So what I'm gonna do is go to neutral, clutch. I don't know if it does seem to help a little bit. So clutch back in, 3rd gear, ease out. All right, RPMs are climbing, but I'm holding clutch, All right, they stop. Now I release, press gas. Hopefully y'all can hear me on this. Normally that would have been a situation right there where I would have shifted to 5th, but I went to 4th. So coming up here on this slag, go ahead and sort of neutral, and I'm just kind of slowing down, using the brakes. Compared to an automatic now, you do have to use the brakes maybe a little bit more than the automatic. But here, me being up first, I see that light turning yellow, go ahead and get it in first. And we go. Clutch in, shift, foot on the gas, ease the clutch out. Here goes this impatient guy. He can't stand it. But that was 3rd. So got this hill here, so I'm gonna use 4th. And come up to speed and go to 5th. If you guys have any questions, I'm sorry, that's maybe a short one. Wasn't really and probably not a good one. It'd help if I had a pedal cam, but I don't have an extra camera, so maybe one day I'll get that. But anyways, if you have any questions, drop in that comment. Other than that, talk to y'all later.